Chapter 2, Section 2, Properties of Water. Key concept, water's unique properties allow life to exist on Earth. Life depends on hydrogen bonds in water. In our last lesson, we talked about how water is a polar molecule. It has a positive end and a negative end, and that's what allows it to be a polar molecule. Those polar molecules have those slightly charged regions and therefore are attracted to each other. A nonpolar molecule like carbon dioxide does not have a charged region. Hydrogen bonds form between slightly positive hydrogen atoms and slightly negative atoms. Hydrogen bonds are responsible for three important properties of water. Later on, when you take advanced biology, we will go much farther in depth with this. We will have a whole chapter on water. The first one that we're concerned about is high specific heat. Water has the ability to hold a lot of heat. It takes a lot of heat to cause water to evaporate. Cohesion is another property. Water molecules like to stick together. They're cohesive. Adhesion is what allows water to stick to other things, like an adhesive bandage, the bandage sticking to your skin. They're two different materials. So cohesion and adhesion explain what we're looking at right here. You probably learned in middle school about the meniscus and how we measure things, but do you really understand what's going on in here? Cohesion is what's keeping the water stuck together, and that's what creates that bubble on top of the test tube. Adhesion is the water trying to climb the sides of the test tube, and so it creates that kind of upside down bubble. So water does this inside of plants. That's how water works its way through the plant from the roots to the leaves, through that capillary action. It's due to the cohesion and adhesion. Cohesion explains why water droplets stick together. So when you spill a bottle of water, it doesn't go everywhere. It kind of stays clumped together. Many compounds dissolve in water. A solution is formed when one substance dissolves in another. Solutions are homogeneous mixtures. Solvents are what are dissolving the other substances. So if we had Kool-Aid and water, the Kool-Aid would be the solute. The water would be the solvent. Solutes dissolve in the solvent. Water is considered the universal solvent because most substances on Earth will dissolve in water. Like dissolves like is one of those phrases you're going to hear a lot. It simply means that polar dissolves polar and nonpolar dissolves nonpolar. Polar substances and nonpolar substances generally don't mix. Think about Italian salad dressing, the oil and the vinegar. They don't mix. Some compounds can form acids or bases. An acid is a substance that releases a hydrogen ion when it's dissolved in water. Your acids are going to have very low numbers on the pH scale. If you look here, you can see that the concentration of those hydrogen ions will vary depending on how acidic or basic something is. 7 is right in between on the pH scale. It goes from 0 to 14, so 7 would be neutral. The lower the number, the closer you get to a 1 or a 0, it's going to be almost all hydrogen ions in there. Those are very acidic substances. A base, on the other hand, removes those hydrogen ions. So the bile pH in your stomach is between an 8 and a 9, and that helps neutralize the stomach acid that your stomach's producing to digest your food. So the numbers of hydrogen ions decreases. In its place, it's replaced by hydroxides, which is an OH. Those OHs are bases, and a hydrogen ion mixes with a hydroxide to form an H2O. So it neutralizes. They have a very low hydrogen ion concentration, but their number on the pH scale is very high, so the bigger numbers are basic. Neutral solutions have a pH of 7,